Mush. Mush.
Hi, I'm Jack, and I'm reviewing Balto. Now, I remember watching Balto as a young kid, and I still remember certain scenes from it. So when I watched it again, I was pretty excited. I didn't know how I was going to feel about it, because some movies you can watch as a kid and love, and hate as an adult. But after watching Balto, I can sincerely say, this is a great, great movie. At least for kids. This movie has amazing animation. I'll just say it. Amazing animation. The score, the music is really good. Balto and Jenna are two very strong characters. Excellent characters. I loved every single second they were on screen. Especially together. Steele was also good. He was a good character. He was like the villain. I thought Kevin Bacon and Bridget Fonda, though, as Balto and Jenna were great. Now that leads me to my biggest problem with the movie and what really dragged it down, the other characters. The other characters are pretty much just there for slapstick. It's humor, and it's just childish. I get that it's a children's movie, but it's not funny. These characters really do drag the movie down. This movie could have been really great, but they had to add in those characters, and it stinks. They're not really important to the story. Well, yeah, the dogs are pretty important because they're part of the sled team, but they could have made those characters so much better. They could have made them good characters rather than just excuses to put in stupid humor. Gosh, it really makes me angry, because if it weren't for those other characters, this movie truly could have been great. It could have been an absolute classic, undisputed. Now, I didn't particularly necessarily enjoy the little live-action thing at the beginning and end, but I didn't have a huge problem with it. I thought it was kind of neat to see the statue dedicated to Balto. But gosh, I mean, the animation, the score, Balto and Jenna, the characters, are great. The character animation sometimes, especially on the other characters, again, isn't great. But let me tell you, just everything that's not character animation is splendid. It's some of the best drawn stuff in movies I've ever seen. It's just a marvel to look at. This is the sort of movie you could make a tribute video to, and it would be excellent. You just set it to the music from the soundtrack, and it would be a great, great video. Balto, it's a great movie to show kids. Parents, anyone with kids, I highly, highly recommend this to show to kids. Kids will look back on it when they're older, and they'll just think of all the great fond memories. They'll go back on it, and it's perfect for nostalgia. So with a couple of very strong characters and a pretty solid villain, really excellent animation, not counting some of the character animation. The character animation for Jenna, Balto, Rosie, Steele to some degree, was very good. Really good music, the really intriguing storyline. I mean, the story of what Balto did is really inspiring. Of course, this movie's very dramatized. It's definitely not what really happened, but it's a very neat story. Now, watching Balto, the side characters really do drag it down, and the in-movie experience is probably somewhere around a 7 for me. But, even just looking back on it right now, like 10 minutes after I finished watching it, I'm just looking back on it, and I'm remembering the truly great stuff. And so for nostalgia and just remembering, I say it varies from a 9 to 10. So overall, I'll give Balto an 8.5 out of 10. This is a great kids movie. Can't recommend it enough.